What's up?
Hi, what is going on to you, Catherine, and to also everyone else?
To everyone.
To everyone, what's happening? Happy Friday. How are
Happy
you? How was your
Friday.
week?
Oh, it was just lovely.
I was actually
No
talking to the
complaints. Oh, to
listeners.
the people. Sorry.
So give them a chance to answer. But now that you've rudely interrupted, how was your week, Catherine?
My week was great. No complaints. No complaints here. What about you?
You know what? My week was also excellent. It was so good. It was
Yeah.
amazing. It was a bit of a crazy week because I don't know if you know my friend Anthony, but he was not at work this
Mhm.
week.
Mhm. Mhm.
Have you ever met him?
A time or two. Yeah, I think the name
Okay.
sounds familiar. Yeah.
um, Aunt had well, Aunt's lady had a baby,
Correct.
so he's out on maternity leave.
Yes. He is now the
So
father of two young children and
yes,
taking
he
the time with the family, which is so
is.
nice.
Yeah, so he was out this week, which it forced me to be pretty much belt on all week.
Mhm.
I had a blast. I had so
Yeah.
much fun. I had so much fun. We made some good content. We had fun. We laughed. We didn't cry.
Nobody cried. As
Nobody.
far
I
as I
don't
know.
think so. Yeah, I don't think so. You looked like you were maybe welling up a couple times because the project's turning out so beautiful.
Yeah, definitely.
So
Definitely.
that was really cool. It was fun to kind of switch the roles up a little bit. Usually he's
Mhm.
the one that's kind of in charge of, hey, what are we going to do today? What's everyone working on? I'm going to take charge of this, but he wasn't there to do that, so I kind of took on that role, and
Yeah.
it was fun. I haven't really done that in a while. Usually I'm like, hey, Aunt, what do you want me to work on? What do you want me to do? Now I'm
Mhm.
the one barking orders, and I have some sort of complex about it. So
Yep.
there's going to be a power struggle when he gets back.
Yeah. And, next week, you're not gonna be there. You're gonna be at IBS.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be calling the shots. So then
Well,
there's
I'm
gonna be
not
a
sure if he's coming
three-way
back.
power struggle when he comes back.
Yeah. I'm not sure if he's coming back yet, but I already have a line for when I get back and he's there.
Okay, what's that?
Do one of these. Who's the new guy?
Oh, he's
You
gonna
like that?
love that. He's gonna
Oh,
love
yeah, he's gonna
it.
freak out. He's gonna totally freak out. He's gonna love it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But it was a great week. We had some nice weather, some warm weather for February, which is always just so nice to have, isn't it?
It is. It has been I mean, I don't know if it's what about whatever, it's global warming or whatever, but it's the weather does not get as cold as it used to. And by the afternoon, it's like you're taking your jacket off every day. There was that like one really cold week that we had.
We
But
did.
beyond that, I feel like we've been getting pretty lucky. And then next week it's gonna be in like the 60s or something. So
It is.
we're gonna be
You guys are gonna be
we're,
doing great. You guys are just gonna
yeah,
be out here living your best life, but I'm gonna
it's
be in
great.
Las Vegas for the International Builder Show,
Mhm.
IBS,
Yes. Are
not
you looking forward to
irritable
that?
bowel syndrome. Is not
Well,
that.
maybe.
Hopefully not.
Could be
There
good.
is like a stomach bug going around. Apparently
Oh
everyone's got
gosh.
it.
Keep hearing
Everybody.
about it.
I keep hearing about it. I'm
They
kind of
also
scared.
called it a neurovirus, which doesn't make any sense to me.
Why?
Makes it sound like it's a brain.
No. Like NORO, norovirus.
Well, I
You've
know
never
they
heard of
should.
that before?
I have heard of that,
Oh, okay.
but it sounds like neurovirus. Like if you're
Oh,
just
you know why?
saying it, sounds
Because
like
you're
brain virus.
when you get it, you're gonna be pooping your brains out.
Oh,
You like that? That was
that
good.
makes sense. Yeah, that
That
makes
was a
sense.
good one. But no, it is not for that. It is the International Builder Show. I am pretty excited about it. We None of us went last year. I'm going
No.
solo this year.
Yes.
And you went, what was it? We went what, 2 years
2 years
ago?
ago. Yeah, when it was in Orlando.
And that was my second time, your first time.
Yeah.
It's how insane is it there?
It's definitely the craziest. It's the biggest show I've ever been to, and I can't imagine a show being any bigger than IBS. It is
Yeah.
wild. And even when we went to the one in Orlando, we made it through this entire hall of like that was absolutely massive. And then they're like, "Oh yeah, did you check out the West Hall?" And we're like, "There's a whole nother hall to this."
Yeah.
It was absolutely insane.
It
Um,
really is. And
and I hate to miss
because
it, but
well, it's okay. I will
take notes
I'll take notes. I'll take notes and
or
I'll
live stream,
report
either
back.
way. I'll be fine
Either
either
way,
way.
I'll wear a GoPro on my head the entire time.
Perfect.
Nobody will even notice it. They'll be like, "Wow, that's
Have you seen
interesting
Arrested
hat."
Development?
I've seen some of it.
Do you know when the dad is in jail and then he or no, it's the brother. The brother or no, it's the dad. It's the brother or the dad. They have
Okay.
like an iPad that's on like a rolling wheel
Oh,
on
yeah.
a stick and it like follows around everybody
Yeah.
so that he knows what's going on. I want that. You can just
Okay.
bring me along with you. I'll just be on an iPad.
I'll see what I can do about that. Yeah, no problem. It's such a cool show because it is so big and it's like such a big deal that a lot of brands like go insane building the
Mhm.
craziest booths, and it's all of construction. So
Yeah.
there's a whole subsection, like a whole exhibit hall that's just kitchen and bath stuff. And the money that they put into some of those booths there, even though it doesn't have to do with the stuff we do at work, it's still so cool to just
Yeah.
walk through it and be like, wow, I'm paying way too much for a Kohler faucet if they can spend like $5 million building this insane booth.
Yeah.
So uh it's gonna be really cool. And there's just so many, you know, what do we say? What's the best part of these shows?
Oh, the people.
The
The
people. God,
networking
the
and the
people.
people.
The people are so
Yeah.
great.
And
And
this show really gives you an opportunity to talk to people in other trades, which is always enlightening and fun
exact
and nice.
it is. It's nice to get like another perspective, and just like another, like when we go to some of the shows, it's so industry specific that
Mhm.
everybody's kind of like just talking about the same sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's nice to go to something like this where you still know a lot of people. Like there's a lot of people that we've, you know, been fortunate enough to meet through Instagram and other platforms where it's still in the industry, but you're kind of just like, you know, talking shop in a more general way. And you get to
Mhm.
just see some different perspectives, which is really cool. And I find that that's where you get like that impactful stuff. It's a little
Mhm.
bit different than talking to somebody that's in your niche, but when you talk to somebody else that's still in construction, but they're doing something a little bit different, they tend to just have a little bit of a different perspective that if you're open to it, you can really just get some nice little gems there. So I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to that. The people.
The people.
The
And
people.
this episode will be released right now it's Friday, but it will be released on Monday morning at 5 a.m. And if you are catching this between the times of 5:30 or 5 a.m. and 11, you have the opportunity, if you're at IBS, to go watch Sean on a panel.
It's true.
It's at 11, right? Is that the time? What did I just say?
I honestly no, it's not. I'm pretty sure it's not. I think it's at like 9:30.
Oh, a.m.?
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was 11. Okay, well,
Yeah. It's
do
gonna
a
be
little. If
tough.
you're catching this very early on, you can do a little bit of research and find Sean's panel.
It'll be coming out at 2 a.m. Vegas time, 5
Oh
a.m.
yeah,
Eastern. So
solid point. So that's more time.
you'll have like 7 hours to so before you go to bed in Vegas, this will come out. You can listen to it and then you can make plans for the next day.
Yes.
And that should be pretty cool. I've never gone to well, not for a long time, gone to any of these conference type parts of the
Hmm.
show. And that's what Monday is. So the show floor doesn't open until Tuesday. Monday, the thing that I'm going to is the U40 summit.
Hmm.
Even though me only 35, it's under it doesn't mean U40. It means under
You
40.
40
It doesn't mean that. No, no, no. I thought
under
so.
40.
I kept saying that. And I was like, no, 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 no. Me
Not yet.
35. Me 35. I know I have a lot of gray hair.
Young man at 35.
Oh, I'm
Gray
just a
hair.
young, spry little boy still. So we're doing a panel on building the sales funnel of the future. I have
Mm,
no idea how I got hooked up with this panel. I completely forgot about it.
mhm.
I wasn't even going to go to IBS,
Yeah.
and then I got an email like, let's set up a call to go over the notes for the panel discussion at IBS. I'm like, who is this person? What are they talking about? I was like, oh, I talked to this person on the phone like 8 months ago. and
Mhm.
said I would do this. So here I am, trapped, and I'm gonna do it. So, but we actually got on a Zoom call with the two other panelists, and I think it's gonna be really cool because the only things I've been a part of, it's been like social media or building a brand, and it's everybody's kind of talking about the same thing. This
Mhm.
is, I'm gonna come with the social media background and talk about that side of it for initiating that as part of your sales funnel. The other, a woman, Genevieve Benson, I think her name is, she is into artificial intelligence. Um, I guess I don't know. I don't even know what you call it. Like, just using AI to enhance the user experience of a website, sorta? So, like,
That's
using AI
interesting.
to learn about the person that is going to be interacting with the site, and then having that site or your marketing interact with that person in the way that they prefer. So it just takes a
Interesting.
lot of, like, metadata, I guess, from, all this stuff that the internet just knows about you, and then it,
Mhm.
like, uses your marketing spend to communicate with each potential person in the way that they prefer to get information or interact with your chatbot or your people. I don't know. I'm going to learn more about it, but it was really really fascinating.
Yeah.
And then the other person, I think his name is Greg Bray. He is owns a company that builds websites and builds essentially your online sales funnel on your website. So it's three different areas of expertise, and I think it's going to be really interesting. So I'm excited to get a lot of takeaways from what they're going to talk about. Hopefully I have something like sort of interesting to say. I don't know.
Something to contribute.
I'm scared. I'm so scared. They're going to be like, "Hey, that was get out of here. You don't know what you're doing. You don't deserve to be up
Scram,
here."
kid, you're not even 40.
Yeah, you're not even 40. You 40? I don't think so. You're acting like you're 10.
No, you're gonna do great, and
You think
I
so?
think it's
Oh, thank you
yes,
so
and I
much.
think it's an exciting opportunity for you, so I
So
can't wait to
much.
hear how it goes.
Thank you so much. I do love these things because it's like it's it's so like random. Like somebody nominated me for like this thing, and then like it sounds so much more cool and important than it is. Like the
Mhm.
the 40 under 40 in the construction industry. And it's like I don't think if they've really like surveyed like everyone that's under 40 in this industry, like I would make the cut of the top 40. But it's just kind of like one of those
Not with that
random.
attitude.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. I still stand by that. I just don't think so. But somebody nominated me for this
Uh,
thing, and it sounds cool. Like,
yeah,
whoa, 40 under 40. You know,
it
people
does
will be
sound
like,
pretty
"Is that
cool.
for like Time Magazine? Is it
It's
for
Forbes.
Forbes?" That's who does it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can just say 40 under 40 winner,
Yeah.
and then people can just they'll just assume what they assume. Doesn't
Exactly.
matter if it's for some very niche thing.
Yeah.
Just be like, "Wow, that's impressive. That's pretty cool." So that's what I got going on next week.
That is so exciting.
I'm excited about it. I am.
And, not to move on from IBS, but your other very exciting news, your pole barn. You're
Pole
making moves
barn.
on your pole barn.
Pole
Where
barn.
are we at? We need pole barn updates. The people wanna know.
It's the last
We've
piece of
hyped
the
this thing
puzzle.
up.
It's the
So
last piece of the puzzle of my
it
life's
is.
my life's work. It's always been my dream to have a pole barn. I've got the land now. The land
You got the
has been
land.
acquired.
You're on the
There
land.
happens to be a house on it, which I don't care about the house. The house is of no meaning to me. The pole barn. The pole barn. It's always been about the pole barn.
Yeah.
And I have been in talks with a pole barn builder
Mhm.
that builds pole barns. So
It's
I
convenient.
it's very convenient, and it gave me some information about the pole barn process, and I went to the township today just to get clarification on how big of a pole barn can I build here,
Mhm.
and I've got groundbreaking great news.
Okay.
So it can be, like I said, 1,200 square feet for my size property.
Mhm.
Okay, I would prefer it to be bigger, obviously. You know, bigger's always
Sure.
better when it comes to pole barns.
Right.
But I thought it could only be 10-foot high. The walls can be 12-foot high, and the overall structure can be 20-foot high. So
Oh.
I could essentially have a 12-foot high wall
Uh-huh.
and then 8 foot of additional height via the roof system. And we could do like scissor trusses on it so that it's all open, kind of like cathedral ceiling style, and build a loft.
That's pretty cool.
Pretty cool, right?
That makes a very cool element to it to have a loft in there.
I think so. I think it does. So I'm pretty psyched about it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm
All right,
pretty
when do we
psyched about
start?
it.
When does it start? Let's get
I
this
don't
thing
know.
moving.
I don't know. I emailed the guy. I'm like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get started. I'm going to the township right now to get the approval or whatever.
Mhm.
So hopefully he gets back to me, and hopefully he senses my excitement about it and the urgency here.
Yeah.
I'm leaving my life's work and my dreams in his hands. So I hope he treats it with respect and care. Is really all I'm asking for.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, and are you getting a pole barn?
No.
Oh,
No
you should
pole
definitely get a pole barn.
no
Have I
pole
have I
barns on
told you
my
how
horizon.
cool pole barns are? I'm so excited. I'm so dang excited about it, and that's gonna be we're gonna be able to get rid of the shop
Mhm.
because now that's really far from my house.
Mhm.
It's still really close to your house, but
Very close.
um, it'll be a lot more space. It'll be we'll be able to like kind of build it out a lot better where it's not just like a temporary thing. Like we didn't want to put too much work into the shop because it's like, we're just renting it. Now
Mhm.
we can really like build some nice racks. We could like get it set up so that we can do the things that we've been talking about forever, like building some furniture with scraps, and like it can be like a really cool spot to work on stuff that we've always wanted to do, and it can be set up in a way that like it's a really good like workstation. We can have a nice table saw set up and a chop saw right there, and just like have a nice workspace and feel like it's worth investing the time to like build it out, because it's not just a rental that it's like you don't want to spend weeks building out this space that you're just renting, and then at the end it's like not only do you not get to keep this, but you kind of got to take it down because it's in the way, and you know you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Of course, you get to customize it. This is very exciting for you.
It is. What color do you think?
Hmm. Well, your house is white,
It is.
and it's a traditional looking house, so you don't want to go like crazy on the color, or do you?
Or do you?
Yeah, the face
Or
the
do
face that
you?
you're giving makes me think you might want
Yeah.
to go a little crazy on the color.
What do you
Um.
think? What do you think? Because I've already decided. So guess. What do you
Oh,
think?
okay. I would go with green because it's like kind of in the back of your yard
What?
with like a nature theme. It's going to be against all the trees. It might look nice as a green.
I don't want to just say no. I want to say absolutely not.
Okay. Well, what are you
It's going to
thinking?
be all black. We're going to get a wood tone door, and then the bottom 3 feet wainscoting, adorn stone in Acadia, Premier stone.
Okay.
What do you
Okay.
think? It's going to be so sick.
For
Trust
the
me. I've
people,
already.
Acadia is the white color of
Yeah,
Premier Stone, so
it's
so
going
they
to be
can get
so
a good
nice.
visual.
It's going to be so
White
nice.
stone, black structure, wood tone doors.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think?
Beautiful.
It's going to be nice. It's going to be
Yeah.
so cool. I'm so excited.
Amazing.
Do you think that's enough barn talk?
I don't think so. Is
I
there
mean,
ever
there's
enough
never
barn?
enough. There's never enough barn talk. Jeez. Just like the barn can never be big enough, you can't talk about the barn enough. At least I can't.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's move on. We'll have more updates as this journey
We
unfolds.
will keep the people
And
posted.
you know, the Premier Dream Shop is going to become a reality. The dream is going to become a reality, and I'm pretty excited about it.
That is
And
very exciting.
let's get into what we're going to actually talk about this week. How about that?
Oh, we have a topic?
I think so. Wait, are we recording this? Are we
We
still
are.
doing that?
Yeah. We're talking.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so this week
Perfect.
as I was perusing social media, as one does, I stumbled upon the story of Down to Earth Landscaping, our buddies over in Colorado, and they put together this beautiful little package that they give. I don't know if it's a welcome gift or a end of job thank you gift, but it's like a nice little package, and it had a hat and uh, I keep calling them Yetis, but it's the what do you call that? Just like
Tumblr.
a tumbler. That's the word.
A
A
tumbler.
branded tumbler in a nice little gift box. And then when you open it, there was a QR code right on the top of it to scan and then leave a review for them, which I was like, this is so good. This is so perfect. It's so simple and easy. It's a great way to get a good review. And it's a great way for your customers to just be like, "Ah, they really went that extra mile." And on top of all of that, then they're wearing and using your branded swag, so they're just a walking billboard for you. So I was like, this is just firing on all cylinders for me. I love this idea. So good. So it made me think like what else could we do to really like turn our customers into our best salespeople? Because we talk about that all the time. Like we
You
want to
just come up with that?
oh, yeah, I did. Sean came up
That's
with that
oh,
phrase. But
I wasn't digging for a credit there. Stop it. Stop it.
um so but anyway, we've talked about this before on the podcast. Like we want, it's important to leave a good impression, do all the right things so then your clients become your salespeople because they're telling everybody about you. But like
Yeah.
doing stuff like this really does. It just takes it that extra little bit. Like such a good idea. What do you think?
I I love the idea. And we were when you told me about this, we were talking about it a little bit earlier in the week, and I had some ideas sort of like that in the past, and I think the idea is great. It's an awesome idea, but the real magic is in like the follow through and the execution of it because
Correct. Yeah.
it's really easy to say, let's do this for all of our customers after the job's over. We give them this,
Hmm.
new backyard welcome package and it's got whatever it's got in it and it's got all this nice stuff. But that's easy to just say in theory, but then like you're at the end of a job, the job already is like, maybe it took a little bit longer than you thought, or it was just extra frustrating or whatever. But it's always hard to stick with that and execute it on the
Hmm.
back end after it's done because it's like, all right, well, we're finally out of here. We got to get to that
Yeah.
next thing, and yeah, we'll put together something for them, and we'll
Yeah.
mail it out, and then it never happens, and you just get caught up in that busyness, and it's hard to execute. But when you do, I think it makes a huge impact. Like you just seeing it and seeing what they send out, it's like it made an impact on you. Imagine being
Yeah.
a client, like not only do they really care about the sales process, the design process, then the build process, then afterwards, they're still doing stuff to show that they just care a little bit. A
Yeah.
lot of people get the experience that as soon as the job has been sold, they got that first big deposit, and like most of the money has been paid, the interest level of the contractors drops steadily and steadily and steadily till
Yeah.
they have, couple more days, it'll be done.
Couple more days.
So to have that type of execution on the project and then the follow through on the back end, I think it's a great idea. It's great execution on them. And it's something that it's so easily overlooked to get a really good review. And now they have a great
Hmm.
incentive to like, hopefully by this point they've had a great experience with you. This is the cherry on top. And
Yeah.
then it's just like a reminder to, hey, could you please leave us a review? And we're going to make it so easy for you.
Yeah.
Scan this QR code. It's going to populate the review for you. All you have to do is give a rating and type in what you want to say about us, and boom, it's there. And that is something that I think a lot more people should be conscious of. We're not really at all conscious of our online reviews. Like we get some sometimes, but I think that's something that we could
Yeah.
definitely be more proactive in,
For sure.
especially in this economy.
In this
In this
economy.
economy, my God.
Uh yeah, I feel like reviews are definitely something that I like barely pay attention to. And when I looked at our reviews maybe a month ago or so, it was all like those fake cryptocurrency things where it's like, contact Miss Lydia and she'll help you get $1,500 just like she did for me or whatever. And there's so many in our reviews. And I was like, what's happening in here? It's the wild, wild west.
At least they left
So
5 stars.
they did. Yeah.
Oh, that was
That's good,
great.
I guess.
Yeah.
But, I think that it's also a great way to get their review where you want it, because I feel like it's you tell a customer, "Oh, leave us a review," and then it's like, "Yeah, I did it on yellowpages.com. Thank you for that." Like,
Yeah.
it really gets if you want more Google reviews, send them there. If you want Facebook reviews, send them there. It's like a good way to kinda put them where you want them too.
Like, corral them towards where you
Corral
wanna
them.
go.
Exactly. Exactly.
I think that's definitely something that we could be a lot more proactive in. I think
Mhm.
they are killing that execution with the idea behind it and the follow through. And it's just reviews are something that's so easy to overlook when
Mhm.
you're busy, you have a lot of work, and it's just like content where it's like, I'm too busy to do it. I don't need any
Right.
more jobs, but it's a really important thing to get the type of client that you want. If you have a ton of 5-star reviews, Google My Business is something that's going to pop up when people search on Google, deck builder near me, kitchen contractor near me, whatever the search query is, that's going to come up and it's going to populate your reviews right there.
Mhm.
And anybody that buys anything off of Amazon or just anywhere online, you typically look at reviews. Reviews are a huge deciding factor for a lot of people. I know I look at reviews whenever I buy stuff on uh usually Amazon.
Yeah.
It's like there's 50 different things that are pretty much the same. I'm going to look for what has the most reviews and what has like 4 or above stars. It doesn't
Mhm.
necessarily have to be the highest rating because a lot of times there'll be ones that have 10 ratings and it's all 5 stars. And it's like, this, these probably aren't real.
Yeah.
But it's got
Seems scammy.
15,000 reviews and it's like a 4.3. It's like, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
So I think it's something that we've probably overlooked, and we can just start to be a little bit more proactive about it.
Yeah,
Always
definitely.
improving.
Always improving. I think
God.
this definitely seeing that definitely uh inspired me to do something. So I do have make some sort of I don't want to say that I'm going to copy their exact method, but potentially might and come up with something for us to do.
I think
Cuz
it's
I do want to like I'm always and I think that you do the same when we get to the end of the job. You're already starting the stress of like the new job, getting the new job ready, and you're just
yeah,
so like, God, we got to get out of here. But I never want the customers to feel like that because I do think that they also kind of feel like that. Like, please, for the love of God, get out of my driveway and my yard and
yeah.
stop tearing things up
It's been
and
fun, but
making so much noise.
ready to say
Yeah,
goodbye.
let us please enjoy our yard. So I do think that there's like a little bit of that on both ends, but I don't ever want them to feel like we are like, all right, we're checked out, we're on to the next thing. Like, I think that that would make a big statement to just be like, thank you so much for being patient with us while we did our best to treat your yard with respect and your time and your space. We want to thank you, and since it was nice, leave us a little bit of a review.
Yeah, and if it wasn't, and you've had anything bad to say,
Just keep it to yourself.
and go to hell. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Uh, I think I think if you have a really bad experience with a client where the client's just really terrible,
Yeah.
maybe you don't send the card to them and
They
ask
don't get a
for a
box.
review.
Yeah.
Um, but I think it's great, and I think we could probably ask for their permission for this, and I'm sure they would probably say, "Hey, we got this idea from somebody else, and we kind of put our little flair on it, our little
Yeah.
touch, and feel free to use it." But I thought this would be a really good opportunity to kind of brainstorm some ideas of things like this that you can do
Mhm.
to go the extra mile on the back end of it, especially when it's the hardest to do, and it's not expected on either end. Uh, a lot of clients aren't going to expect something like this. It isn't a normal part of their experience dealing with anybody else. So
Mhm.
it's easy to overlook, but it can like put that wow factor on it and put it over the top. And boom, you're presenting them with, hey, if you get a chance, scan this. It'll take you 2 seconds to do a review. And like you said, you can point them in the direction of where you want that review. So it's not
Mhm.
just scattered all over line on yellowpages.com where no one's going to see it. It's like we're trying our best to collect all of our reviews on Google. Boom, send you the link, done.
Yep.
And
Definitely.
what when you said that, it reminded me we read a book. There's some sort of like psychological thing where you like give somebody something and then they feel an obligation to give something back. What
Mhm.
book was that? Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
I feel like it was in the negotiating book. Did we read that together? Not like
The negotiating book.
not like in a group.
Yes, in the van, I read it aloud to you.
Back and forth, yeah. Um,
uh,
it was called Never Split the Difference. Did we read that?
I don't think that I've read that one, no.
Okay, then it probably wasn't that one. I feel
I don't
like
think that no, I do remember
concept.
this concept, but I don't remember which book it was in.
I don't remember either, but that is like a
Hmm.
psychological thing
Yes.
where kind of give something to somebody and then they do feel like an obligation to return the favor and be reciprocal about it. So
Mhm.
you're giving somebody a tumbler or a sweatshirt or whatever it is, they're gonna feel a little bit of an obligation. Like, oh, all they want in return for this is a review, and that's easy enough. They've made it easy for me, so I can do this, and they feel like it sounds kind of like when you say it like that, it sounds kind of like not as nice, but I don't mean it that way. Like that they
Everything is
feel like
transactional.
yeah, like you're forcing them. Like this is just
Yeah.
psychological warfare to get you to do this. No, I just think it is. Somebody does something nice for you. You want to do something nice for them. And
Yeah.
the nicest thing that you could do for us is leave us a review. And we're making it super easy for you. Here you go.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
definitely.
why don't we brainstorm some ideas on what we could do? What could be our touch that we
Okay.
do on this?
Okay.
And are we going to commit to this? Are we actually going to do this?
Um, I think that we should commit to doing something, but maybe we continue to brainstorm to see what will work. I don't know what ideas are going to come out of this right now. I have an
Okay.
idea. I just came up with an idea in my head.
You did.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I'm sure you also did since this was your idea. So
Yeah.
we'll see. At the end of this, we'll decide what we commit to. Maybe.
Okay.
All
But we're
right.
going to commit to something.
We're going to commit to something, to doing something.
Okay.
Okay.
Who goes first? Do you want to go first on this
Um.
brainstorming session?
Sure.
Go
Okay.
for it.
So my
Let her
idea.
rip. Okay.
We had a job over the summer. It was the Phantom Post project, your favorite
Yes.
project. That last day, we went back, we took pictures, we kind of hung out with the family. The kids were like using the fire pit to roast marshmallows and stuff. And the homeowner brought out champagne for us to share amongst all of us. So I feel like maybe if we do something like that, where that last day, we could incorporate it even into content where we're like, because I don't know if the family is necessarily always going to be there on the last day, but I feel like usually it works out that they're there. And
Yeah.
so maybe if we do something where we're like, it's the end of the day on a Friday, we'd love to just, crack open a bottle of champagne with you guys to celebrate your new yard. Um, assuming that they would partake in a drink of alcohol. Um, or if not, then we just leave them with a bottle of champagne to celebrate their own yard in their own space.
Yeah. What if they're like, I don't want to hang out with you guys and drink this champagne? This is
Well, some
weird.
people might not want to, but I feel like a lot of the time people
Oh, yeah.
they always say they're going to invite us for like some sort of barbecue or something. They don't really ever. But like that's what I'm saying. We don't it's just like a, end of the day on a Friday, a glass of champagne to celebrate their new space. It's not they don't have to
Yeah.
hang out with us for too long.
Just a
20
little bit.
minutes. Just a little bit. Just to
Just a little
cheers
bit.
in your new space.
Should
When
we
you
smash the
That's what I'm
champagne
saying.
bottle
Yeah.
on the deck?
When you buy a new boat or you rename a boat, that's what you do. So maybe something there. Or just leave
Maybe.
them with
Yeah.
a bottle of champagne. Either way.
Here's this beautiful deck that we just finished. Now we're going to
Let's
have broken
smash
glass everywhere.
it.
That is our gift to you. And I guess there's no champagne left either because it all fell out when we broke it.
Yeah.
Something to think about there. I like where your head's at with that. Because that is you're giving them some sort of gift. Plus, it's like,
Mhm.
you're getting to like put an end cap on the project. Like
Yeah.
we're all
It's like
done.
a ceremonial thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like a changing of the guard. We
Yeah.
were guarding the backyard, and now it is your turn
Yeah.
to
And I feel like
guard
it would
your
be
backyard.
nice it would be depending on how the family sometimes people have different thoughts on it. Sometimes the people do wanna be in the content and they have, like, no problem with it, and some other times they aren't interested in it. But
Yeah.
for the content, it might be nice to get a nice little clip of, like, the family enjoying it and, like, the handoff, like, "This is your space now, go enjoy. Here's the cheers." It might be nice it's a nice moment to capture, I think.
Yeah.
Because we're not just building decks, we're building experiences. We're building a feeling, a place for families to really enjoy themselves. So I
We're
like
we're
committing to that.
building a memory box.
Exactly.
We are building the box that they are going to put their memories in or make their
Exactly.
memories in.
Yeah.
We're building memory factories. I like that term. That's really good. I do like that.
Beautiful.
Um, yeah.
Okay.
Circling back to something way back from before,
Okay.
I just want to throw this out there. We were talking about the panel I'm going to be on, the building the sales funnel of the future.
Yeah.
One of the other panelists during the call, they mentioned this new term, the marketing instead of the sales funnel,
Mhm.
the new thing is the marketing flywheel because it's so
Okay.
multifaceted. It's not as simple as like people just
A
go in the
funnel.
top. People are kind of entering from everywhere. They're flying all over the place and
Okay.
they kind of enter where they want and exit where they want, and it's so much more complicated than just a sales funnel. So,
Hmm.
uh
Okay.
marketing flywheel. I
Interesting.
want to make sure I said that because I thought it was pretty cool.
Hmm.
And maybe
I like
when I
that.
learn more about it, we'll talk about it again.
Yeah.
So,
Put a pin in that for next week.
just a thought. All right, so now my idea.
Yes. Now your idea.
All right, so this is something that I've thought of a long time ago. I don't know, a year, 2 years, 3 years ago. I don't remember when I came up with the idea, and this demonstrates the difficulty with executing it. I've had this idea, and it's a great idea, but we've never done it, and
Hmm.
the follow through is what's tough about it. So we're always on a project for quite a long amount of time, and a lot of times we're going to go out to get lunch once, twice a week, whatever. Some of us go every day to go out and get lunch. So a lot of times we'll ask the client, like, hey, what's like the best pizza place around here? What's the best place to get a sandwich? And they'll be like, oh, this place is amazing. It's so good. We go there all the time. And not only is that a great recommendation for when you're working there, because we've
Hmm.
gotten a ton of really great recommendations for a lunch spot while we're working around that area. But at the end of the project, you've gotten them to tell you like their favorite places around the area so you can get them like a gift certificate or make that a part of that kind of welcome package. Like, here, this is to enjoy your new space. You can order pizza from your favorite place. Here's a $50 gift card or $100 gift card.
Hmm.
Here's the bottle of champagne. But that's like a really personal touch where you can ask them, hey, what's your favorite place to eat around here? And then it's like you listen to them, and you kind of took the time to remember what they recommended to you, and that they like it there, and boom, here you go. Here is just a nice little token of appreciation from us to you, and enjoy it.
That is
What do you
really
think?
nice. I
What do you
like
think about
that.
that?
I like that. And in order and to go along with that, I feel. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
You could also, if it's a gift card, this is a great idea. I'm coming up with so many ideas right on the spot here. We forget about the backyards.
Okay.
We're done with that. We're not
Oh, we're
building
done with
backyards
that.
anymore. We're starting a new business where we create gift cards that can only be unlocked after you leave a review. How about that?
Oh,
It's like, here's
okay.
a $50 gift card to your favorite spot, but before you
All
can
you
use it and
gotta
it's
do.
activated, you got to leave a review, and it has to be 5
Mm.
stars, and it has to be from your heart.
It has to be 5 stars, and it also has to be true, so you
Yeah,
better have
so
enjoyed
don't
yourself.
lie. So if you don't think that we deserve 5 stars, figure out internally why you're lying to yourself, because you are. So that's a good idea, though. Is that not a
That's a good idea.
That's a pretty good idea.
That is a really good
All right,
idea.
shut the podcast down. I don't want this
We gotta
idea
get to
getting
work
out
on
there.
this.
That's such a good idea.
That really
I
is a
don't
good
know how
idea.
it's really possible, but That's what the nerds are for. We need to find
Yeah.
a group of nerds to work on this.
We'll let them handle that part of it.
God.
All right, that is a good
This,
idea.
yeah, this is I feel like we're in we were trying to think of this word before, but this is we're creating referendums.
Yeah, that's exactly what this is.
That's exactly what this is. Another referendum moment. I love it.
Referendums. Perfect.
That's such a good idea, though. You think that's a good idea, right?
Yeah, it's a great. No, that's a really great idea.
Write that down because I'm going to forget it like
All right,
immediately.
I'll write it down.
How do we go about building this business?
We gotta find the nerds, like you said.
Where do nerds like to hang out? Where do people play Dungeons and Dragons? They're probably just online
Is that?
somewhere.
I don't know anything about Dungeons and Dragons. Is that that's a thing? It's still a thing.
I'm pretty sure it's still a thing. Yeah, and
It's not
it's like
internet based though, right? You do it with your friends in real life.
I guess, yeah, I think.
Huh. Okay.
I'm not really totally sure on that. But I think it's actually kind of like a cool thing now. Like being a nerd's cool.
Oh yeah, I don't. I'm not hating on it. I just don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
Whatever brings people joy is worthwhile. You know, who cares what other
Unless
people
it's like
think?
hurting other people.
As long as it's what happens between consenting adults and for fun and isn't harming anybody else, have at. Whatever
Okay.
brings people joy,
As long as
enjoy
consenting
it.
adults, it's
Fun and it's not hurting anybody else.
fun and not okay. Those are the three stipulations. This is like
Yes.
the Constitution of Catherine.
Yeah.
I
I
think
love
that kind of covers most everything. I think that's kind of a good universal law. You can do whatever you want as long as you're not hurting anybody else. It's fun. Do you have to? It has to be fun, and everyone's consenting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a referendum for another day. All right. You got any other ideas here?
So I'm still writing this one down. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. So I
Um,
do think that the
Wait, I do have another idea though.
okay. I think doing the package with like some clothing, but it's got to,
Yeah.
if you're going to do that, I feel like it can't be like, just like the work t-shirts that everybody's wearing. It's got to be like something a little
Right.
nice,
Yeah, and
Like
something that people wear
pullover
out.
or yeah, something that somebody's, so that can get a little pricey, but
Yeah.
if it's, a couple $100 on a big
Cost of doing
project,
biz.
that's the cost of doing biz, baby. So,
And I
you
think
know,
that would like for people who are like high volume people, that would get pretty expensive. For us, it's like
yeah, it's
twice
like
a month or like
yeah.
every other month. I mean, we have to buy a couple t-shirts. I think that's fine.
We could really get crazy with it since we don't do that many jobs.
I know. That's what
Every
I'm
client,
thinking.
new car. Here is your brand new car.
It is branded with Premiere. Sorry about that. You're a billboard now, but it's a free car. Leave us a review.
That's actually pretty cool. If we ever get like even like a 10th of the viewership of like Mr. Beast, that's what we should start doing.
Giving
Here's
away
a new
Premiere
backyard,
cars.
and we got you a new car or a helicopter or whatever.
That'd be pretty cool.
So I don't know, something to think about.
Totally off topic, but this morning on the news, I saw that they have personal crafts that are drones, but it's like you sit in it, and they're in Florida, and you can like rent them now, like
What?
for like you can take it up for 30 minutes or whatever, and it's $300, but it's like a drone. You sit in it, and you can just fly around, and it's the next way of personal crafts. So maybe we'll get people those.
That's a good idea.
Because that's gonna get the people talking.
That's
sure.
true. You know what I just realized?
What?
The people of Florida are already living under Catherine's Constitution. You can do whatever you want down there. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. You can get naked in a Waffle House and nobody's going to bat an eye.
That's
just,
so true.
Just the way of the world down there. It's why everyone loves it so much.
Different land, yeah.
It really is. Okay. So do you have? Was that your other idea? I'm kind of wrapped up with my ideas.
Okay, so my other idea was just kind of like an addendum to what your thing was, like a gift card that's a place that they like, lovely. Or you can do so like one of the families that we had, they were super into like cooking outdoors. We could give them like a gift basket with like their interest in their backyard, or like one is like we want to we created a TV spot for the kids to watch TV outside on like to watch their Saturday morning cartoons, but they're outside. You know, like take whatever their wish list things were and then create some sort of like gift basket around that.
That's a great idea. And I just thought somebody that's really into like grilling and cooking, you could get them like a year subscription to like, meat of the month.
Beef box.
Yeah, beef box or whatever, butcher box
Yeah.
or some sort of like nice meat that they can cook. That's a great idea.
That would be really pricey, but
is it? I'm not sure how expensive that is, but
I think, we
couldn't be
looked
that
into.
much.
I think it's like $80 a month or something. That, depending on like how much you get, but
you get like a whole animal every month.
that
Just
would
like
probably be even more.
just like a cow shows up.
But maybe not for a whole year. But if you get them one and have it sent to them, I feel like that would be a great little touch.
Yeah, we could even partner with these companies, and we could say, "Hey, we want to give them out for free."
Yeah, that's like HelloFresh or whatever. They're always doing stuff like that, or Athletic Greens, blah blah blah. They're always after influencers.
Yeah.
We got to find a beef box, partner with them, give away beef boxes.
Or Athletic Greens. They sponsor everything.
They do.
You could be like, you want to get more enjoyment out of your deck? Drink Athletic Greens and you won't die as soon. So there you go.
Yeah.
These statements have not been checked by the FDA. Not intended to treat, diagnose, or cure any disease.
Yeah, consult with your doctor before taking any supplements, but
exactly. There you go. All right. I think we did some good referenduming today. I think we've got some great ideas to implement, and let's say that we're gonna stick to this. We're gonna stick to something. We're gonna
stick to doing something.
We're gonna stick to doing something, and it's gonna be cool.
It's gonna be cool. Yeah, definitely gonna be cool. I kind of like the idea of like combining all of those ideas into one. Like, give them something branded, so then they're kind of like a walking billboard. Give them something that's personal to their yard, and also a bottle of champagne, because who doesn't like champagne? So,
yeah,
maybe just combined all these ideas.
I thought of a beta, like a beta version of the way that we could do this app that unlocks the card.
Okay.
We could just present the gift box in person, and then the last thing is the gift card, and say, "We got you this gift card to this place." And as they go to grab it, say, "Not so fast. You still have some work to do here. You got to leave us a review."
One last task.
Yeah.
Like a side quest.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that that is some great referendum stuff. Now let's get into our book review, because it amazes me how much we can talk. We've already been talking for 47 minutes.
Yeah.
And always at like 20 minutes, I'm like, are we going to be able to fill out an hour today? And then we always go way over.
Somehow always do, yeah.
God, I'm so sorry if we've really, just talked too much today and your ears are tired of.
I will not apologize for that.
Voices. I will not. You chose to do this. You're a consenting adult in this situation.
Exactly.
You put this fun.
On. We were having fun.
You put this on. So if you gotta be mad at anybody, be mad at yourself.
Exactly.
God made me this way. I can't help it. It's just the way I am. Anyway, all right.
Our book.
Book review.
This week we read Hidden Potential by Adam Grant.
Catherine's still learning how to read, so she's still working on those sounds.
I am working on it.
You're doing great.
So Hidden Potential. What do you got? What do you want to give the little spiel?
I could do that. So basically, this book, another self-help book about potential. The potential is what we all want. We want to fulfill our potential, and that's kind of the basis of all self-help books. But the thing I liked about this was it was written in a really concise way, and it was backed with a good bit of storytelling.
Yeah.
I can see you're shaking your head like, yeah, I like that as well.
They talked about science and actually told a bunch of stories in it, which I really liked.
Yeah, and I really liked the way that they weaved the two together, and they kind of had a couple core stories that kind of tied a lot of these things together. And that always makes it, for me, a lot easier to digest and understand and really get like the the value points out of it. That's really
Mhm.
helpful to me, and it makes for a better listening experience because I'm doing these on audiobook. And
Mhm.
so we'll go through a couple of the points of the book that it's basically kind of a blueprint to unlock more potential
Mhm.
within yourself and within your company or your team or whatever it is. So one of the first things that they talk about is make mistakes. Making mistakes. Have you ever heard that before? That making mistakes is life's best teacher?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that one is a little bit played out. I mean, making mistakes, obviously. That's how learn
Yeah.
from your mistakes. That one is a little bit kind of played out, but
Mhm.
it's still really important. And I think it highlights one of the things that we talk about a lot, which is this idea of coaches and gurus that are just going to teach you how to do things. And you're just going to take that and they made the mistake. So you don't have to. No matter what, you're still going to make mistakes. And one of the things that you have to be open with is being open to making mistakes. Like
Yeah.
just realizing that that's a part of the journey and not being discouraged every time you make a mistake because that is a crucial part in reaching your potential is making the mistakes along the way and not being afraid of it. So,
Yeah. And, like, putting yourself into situations where you are going to make mistakes, so then you learn.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
intentionally putting yourself into situations where you might not know everything, but you just need to try because
Yeah,
you don't know everything, so that's how you learn.
absolutely.
Put yourself into those
Absolutely.
situations.
And like I said, make mistakes, learn from your mistakes. All these things are so played out. It's so
Mhm.
cliche. But sometimes those things that become so cliche because they're so overused and you just hear it everywhere, sometimes they become so cliche that it's so easy to just ignore them and forget about how really like important that is to just like be okay with making mistakes.
Mhm.
You know, you can like become sort of blind to it because it's just in every self-help thing. It's in on everything is like, you know, make the mistakes. That's how you're going to learn. But then it becomes kind of easy to ignore because it's so ubiquitous and it's so cliche. But it's important to remember it. And I think they laid it out in a really good way to make it digestible and kind of hit home a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Um, One of the points that I liked was that, like, when talking about potential, a lot of people like, I always thought when I was a kid when I was a kid, I did piano and I did sailing, but I always wanted to do gymnastics and I always wanted to do all these things. And it was always like, what if I was this amazing golfer? And I never knew because I never tried it. What if I had this this wild skill at this thing that I just never even tried, you know? But this book is like, you don't have that skill because you just need to try it. You need to take large steps towards that thing. Not You don't need to rely on some sort of, like, you know,
Innate
something that
gift.
it's like it's gonna yeah, it's like you have this innate ability. You give yourself that innate ability. So I kind of liked that messaging was there because I always thought about that. Like, what if I was this thing that I never even knew? But if I wanted to be that
Yeah.
thing, then I should just do it, you know?
Yeah. That's interesting because I feel like I used to think about that as well. Like, what if I just never tried that thing that I'm meant to
Yeah.
do that I'm really good at? But
Right?
you know, that's like you said, you become that by living it and by practicing it. And there's things that you're going to have a natural inclination towards, and that's going to be
Hmm.
so broad. It's going to go across a lot of different things. It's not like, hey, I was meant to be a tennis player, but I just happen to be horrible at every other sport, but I'm
Yeah.
amazing at tennis. It's like if you're going to become a professional tennis player, you're probably pretty athletic in a lot of different things, and you'll probably just have an inclination towards sports and
Yeah.
athletic type of things. So, and it ties in with what we talked about last week with Brian, which is praise the effort, praise the act. And that is where the results come from.
Right.
You know, you're not going to just jump into something and be the best or excel at it to the highest degree right away. And
Hmm.
even those few people that do, those people tend to, in the long run, not do as well because they get discouraged as soon as they're not the best person, as soon as somebody that put in more work goes beyond them and beats them in whatever thing that they're doing, that can be so discouraging to that person that just had that natural gift, but wasn't necessarily putting in as much work as the next person that eventually surpasses them. And that can be really hard for somebody that grows up just being the best at a certain sport or being the best at the piano. As soon as they're
Mhm.
not anymore, it's like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore because I'm not the best anymore. So
Yeah.
I thought that that tied in really well with what we are talking about last week, and it just drives that home. Like the magic is in the process. It's not
Yeah.
in some sort of innate gift that you have.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Something to think about.
Always is.
Always
All right.
is.
What else did we learn from this book? I'm trying to look at my notes.
So another thing that I really liked about it was the idea that practice should be fun, and that,
Hmm.
like, especially in today's society, we can become obsessed with over practicing or overworking ourselves or beating ourselves up because we could always be doing a little bit more.
Mhm.
But the research really shows that a lot of times that's actually counterproductive to burn the candle at both ends and
Yeah.
just work, first thing in the morning and right up until you go to bed, that the results really aren't there comparative to the time that you put in. A lot of times it's just going to lead to burnout. So really keeping that enjoyment into what you're doing is scientifically backed to actually produce more and better results than just having this grinded out, like, head down, power through mentality. It's actually counterproductive. And I think you just see that everywhere, that you gotta be tougher, you gotta power through it, you gotta grit your teeth and just push through and work harder than the next person. And I think there are elements of that that are true, and there's a time for some of that. But at the end of the day, you're really going to excel at something if you enjoy it and you're having fun and you put limits on how much you're going to do that so that you
Mhm.
don't get burnout.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that we get so bombarded with those guru types of like just do it like a businessman who's just like you got like the 10x guy, just eat,
Yeah.
breathe and sleep and just business and blah blah blah. But like in your everyday life, I'm sure you can think of 10 business owners who you're like, wow, they have a really good business. They seem to be doing incredibly well, and also they go to their family every night and also seem to enjoy other areas of their life too. It's not like
Yeah.
not everybody needs to be that like intense guru type, but are still able to have like a wonderful thriving business that you would still look at as like a goal.
Yeah. One of the examples that they had for this point was a uh percussionist in a orchestra, and the person happened to be deaf. That wasn't like totally, that just made it like kind of more impressive, I guess,
Mhm.
obviously, because it was they've reached these great heights. But they found that, they went through periods where they felt this pressure that they needed to be doing more, they needed to be practicing more hours a day. And I think anybody can relate to that. Like, there's this pressure from society that you're never doing enough or you could always be more productive.
Yeah.
And there's studies out there that show that really isn't as productive. You're not going to produce as much as if you just kind of set time boundaries and set limits on the different things that you do, and make sure that you're still enjoying it. Because if you're enjoying the work that you're doing, you're going to produce more. It's going to be more efficient, and
Yeah.
it's just going to be better
And more
than,
sustainable.
yeah, exactly. Because you're eventually going to just get burnt out. And I think a lot of people can relate to the feeling of, like, just working morning, noon, and night. And you can do that for a little bit. And then it gets to a point where, like, you're working all day and all night and you're not getting that much done because you're like so foggy. You're like, I can't think of anything. You're making mistakes.
Yeah.
And you can do that for a little bit and you just get burnt out. So, I think that's just something really important to remind yourself, that There's science to back this up that you don't need to be grinding at something like just until the wheels fall off.
Mhm.
It's okay to like put reasonable limits on this kind of stuff, and you don't have to like succumb to that outside pressure that you always need to be doing more.
Yeah.
'Cause even when you do more, then you're like, well, I could sleep one less hour and I could work more, I could practice more. And it's just never ending. And it's just a road to burnout. Some
Yeah.
people might reach that burnout in 1 month. Some people it might take a year, 2 years, but eventually that's what it's going to lead to. And the time that you're spending on it is going to be a lot less effective as if you just set limits on it and did it in a manageable way.
Yeah. In a more sustainable way. That's all
Sustainability,
you gotta create lifelong habits. It's not just about, you know, if I just grind for the next 5 years, I know I'll get to the other side of this. It's like, no, you gotta just
because you
grind
might be
forever
dead.
until you die.
That's true, that's true.
But in
And
a
maybe that's the point of
sustainable
life. Maybe
way.
we should just grind till the wheels fall off and we die. I don't know. And I'm not sitting here saying I have all the answers because maybe that is the answer, and I'm just maybe this is just some nonsense propaganda that I'm believing.
Yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't have limits. Maybe you should just work till you die. But, yeah, I
Uh,
think I think that I think that's a really important thing to just remind yourself of because it's something that we all put pressure on ourselves to just produce more and to be more, and we're not enough, or we could be more, and
yeah.
it's like, where does that get you? When you do produce more, or you do work harder, you know, are you going to feel different at the end of that, or is it just going to perpetuate this idea that you still need to be doing more and be more efficient with your time? So,
Yeah.
uh, just remind yourself to give yourself some grace.
Yeah.
Something to think about.
I like it. I like it. All right. Well, we're kind of at our happy hour. So,
Oh,
what would you give? What's your rating for this book?
I will give this book. I feel like I'm so willy nilly with these.
With these
There's really
scores?
no structured scoring. You know, kind of anything here. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe that needs to be more structured. I'm just kind of ripping them off the cuff,
Mm.
and I'm gonna give it an 8.6.
Okay.
I thought it
You
was
stay
great.
with the in the 8 range pretty
I'm just
solidly.
an optimistic person, and I feel like I can get a
Okay.
lot out
Yeah.
of most things. I felt like it was really well written. I think the way that they conveyed a lot of the stories and they tied them together, it
Mhm.
made it for a very easy, enjoyable listen, but it also helped drive the points home. And I would definitely recommend this book to anybody that enjoys reading or listening to books and getting more out of yourself.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like it. I'm
What
gonna
do you
give
got?
it an 8.1 because I do think as a standalone book, it's great, and I really did enjoy the storytelling. Um, I feel like most people don't plow through self-help books like we are doing at one a week. I feel like that's,
Yeah,
so I'm kind of like, well, I've heard this before. I've heard this before. But
that's
excluding
true.
all that previous knowledge, if you do just read this book by itself, I think it is well written and the storytelling was good. So I'm going to give it an 8.1.
Yeah. What does it say about us that we need to read this many self-help books?
I don't know. Are we fixed yet? Like,
I
come
don't
on.
think
Is
so.
this
Jeez.
working?
Maybe like us helping ourselves is we're apparently the least qualified people. We need to get some outside help books.
Right? Yeah.
Self-help stuff is not working. Uh yeah,
Uh,
I don't feel fixed yet, but more on that another episode, I suppose. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think next week we're going to do a guest. So why don't we skip the book for next week and then we'll come back the week after that with another book slash then book review.
No.
No? Oh,
Negative.
did you pick a book?
Well, we talked about it earlier. I think that we should do the Elon Musk book. I think we should do
Oh, okay.
we should do a biography, and this way, we'll review it 2 weeks from now because we're gonna have a guest next week,
Okay.
and it's a little bit longer, so it'll give us
Okay.
more
So we
time
have the time.
to
Yeah.
do it. So,
Okay. I like
this
it.
you have 2 weeks to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's called. What is it called?
I think it's
Musk?
called Elon Musk
Elon?
by
Yeah,
Isaac something.
something or other. It's the most popular biography of him right now. It's like on the I don't know
It's
on the
everywhere.
suggested things. It's
Yeah.
everywhere. So check that out. I'm excited about it. I like reading biographies because it has all these same points in it, but it's through the lens of one person's life.
Yeah.
And obviously, Elon Musk, everyone knows who he is. I don't know that much about his past. I know some stuff here and there, but I'm interested to learn more about it. He's obviously a little bit controversial, but very forward thinking, very outside the box thinker,
Mhm.
very unique person. So I'm excited to learn a little bit more about this supposed man,
Yeah.
possible possible
Alien?
humanoid,
Yeah.
possible alien. I
We'll
don't know.
find
We're
out.
gonna get to the bottom of it together.
Perfect.
So thanks for listening, everybody. And if you leave us a review, a gift card to your favorite place will
Magically unlock.
magically appear in front of you. So do that. We're not lying. We are telling the truth. So please do that and please subscribe wherever you listen. It does help us out so much.
Sure
But
does.
until next time, this has been Premier. Oh, no, wait. Hold on.
The other one.
That's the other one. Until next time, this has been the Hardworking Happy Hour.
There you go. See you next week.